Welcome to the AXA Engineers Podcast, Episode 4. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into a topic that is, well, absolutely critical for firms looking to scale, innovate, and frankly, remain competitive. That topic is civil engineering outsourcing. Now, for many, it's a phrase that still conjures up images of maybe simple cost-cutting or purely transactional relationships. But our mission today is to move far beyond those common and often quite costly misconceptions. We're here to uncover what truly defines a successful strategic partnership in this vital field. One that really transforms your operational capacity and strategic advantage rather than just trimming your budget. Our goal. To give you a shortcut to being exceptionally well-informed, we've packed this with surprising facts, some counterintuitive insights, and genuinely actionable strategies you can apply right now. And as we unpack these insights into strategic civil engineering outsourcing, we'd love to hear your thoughts. Make sure to follow us and leave a comment with your biggest takeaway after this deep dive. All right, let's dive right in. I want to start with perhaps a bold statement, maybe even provocative. Choosing the wrong civil engineering outsourcing partner is fundamentally worse than hiring a bad employee. Now, you might be thinking, wow, that's a strong claim.
It is strong, but it holds water when you think about it.
Exactly. Think about it for a moment. An internal bad hire. Okay, they can be frustrating, inefficient, even demoralizing, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But ultimately, it's an internal problem. You retain a significant degree of control. You can manage them. You can provide training, maybe reassign them, or, if absolutely necessary, replace them. The fallout is largely contained.
Right. It's within your four walls, more or less.
But a flawed partnership in civil engineering outsourcing, that's an entirely different beast, isn't it?
Oh, completely different. The potential consequences are, well, they're exponentially more severe and far-reaching.
We're talking about jeopardizing entire projects, multi-million-dollar projects.
Absolutely. And compromising your firm's hard-earned reputation.
Right.
With clients, with regulatory bodies.
Yeah, and even exposing your entire operation to significant data security risks. Intellectual property risks, too.
It's huge. Imagine a critical infrastructure project, a new water treatment plant maybe,
Right.
or a complex bridge reconstruction.
Yeah.
If the outsourced structural calculations have undetected errors, or maybe the hydraulic modeling is flawed.
Oh, boy.
You're not just looking at rework, you're facing potentially catastrophic failures, regulatory fines, delays that can cost millions in liquidated damages.
That's a completely different ballgame. The stakes just reverberate far beyond your immediate team.
They really do.
And yet, and this is what gets me, one of the most common and frankly most costly mistakes we still see civil engineering firms make is this singular focus, almost obsessive, on the lowest hourly rate.
The race to the bottom on price.
Exactly. They think they're saving money, often driven by intense market pressures. I get that. But this decision, based on such a narrow metric, so often costs them far, far more in the long run.
We see it constantly.
We've seen it play out in, extensive rework cycles, mispermitting deadlines, unforeseen design clashes, even complete project abandonment in some cases.
It's agonizing to watch.
It's that classic agonizing case of being penny-wise and pound-foolish, especially with something as complex and critical as civil engineering outsourcing. Those initial savings, they just evaporate. Poof. Replaced by a mountain of hidden costs.
What's truly fascinating here, and I think often overlooked, is how firms so frequently neglect the profound long-term implications of this foundational choice. They see it as just a transaction, right? A way to acquire a certain number of hours of drafting and design support.
Yeah, just buying hours.
Rather than recognizing it for what it really should be, a strategic alliance, a true extension of their core capabilities. When you choose a partner for civil engineering outsourcing, you're not simply buying labor hours. You are, in essence, entrusting them with a piece of your project's technical integrity.
Your client's trust.
Your client's trust,
Yeah.
absolutely. Your firm's professional reputation, and ultimately your firm's future capacity for growth. It's that significant.
So a flawed partnership, it just creates these cascading problems.
Exactly. Think of like trying to build a complex multi-story building on a really shaky, poorly designed foundation.
Right. Everything built on top is compromised.
Every subsequent step in the project lifecycle becomes unstable. Imagine the impact of incorrect geotechnical data coming in from an outsourced team, or a miscalculation in a retaining wall design.
Yeah, those aren't minor hiccups.
Not at all. They erode trust, they stall momentum, they can force a complete reevaluation of the project's viability. And this erosion is far more damaging, more pervasive than the issues you get managing an internal bad hire.
Because you can contain the internal issue, usually.
Generally, yes. Its impact is often localized, but a failing outsourcing partnership, it can infect multiple active projects. It can compromise relationships with key clients, damage your standing with municipal authorities.
Devastate internal team morale, I imagine.
Absolutely. It makes the situation exponentially worse because the problems start externally, outside your immediate day-to-day oversight. Makes them harder to spot, harder to diagnose, harder to fix quickly.
And it really does start right at the beginning, doesn't it? Navigating those initial hurdles, defining the scope properly, assessing capability accurately. That's often where the rot sets in.
Absolutely. Which raises a really critical question. How do you genuinely assess a potential partner's ability to handle complex civil engineering outsourcing needs? Especially when the initial information you get, maybe in an RFP or a glossy brochure, is often so generalized or, frankly, incomplete. These initial missteps, if you don't address them rigorously up front, they fundamentally set the stage for project failure. It doesn't matter how technically competent the provider might actually be underneath it all.
It's like trying to approve a concrete mix design without knowing the specs, right?
Right.
Are we talking high strength, self-compacting, standard Portland cement?
Exactly. The fundamental properties are ambiguous,
Yeah.
which leads inevitably to structural issues down the line.
So let's talk about that ambiguity. We call it the ambiguity trap.
Good name for it.
You see it all the time. Firms, they're pressured by aggressive deadlines, maybe limited internal resources. They rush out these generalized requests for proposals, RFPs for civil engineering outsourcing services.
Seen plenty of those.
And these documents, they're meant to define the work, but they often lack that granular, specific detail you really need for effective, unambiguous partnerships in our field. Instead of precise deliverables tied to specific engineering standards or required software versions with clear control or performance standards like, say, BIM level of development requirements.
You just get vague requests.
Exactly. Like drafting support for site development or maybe utility design assistance. It's just too broad.
And that ambiguity creates massive gaps in understanding. Huge gaps.
So each party, your internal project managers, the potential outsourcing provider, they just fill in those missing pieces with their own assumptions, their own workflows, their own interpretations of best practice.
But guess what?
They never align. Especially in specialized fields like civil engineering, those assumptions are almost guaranteed to be different.
And when project requirements are that vague, left open to interpretation, well, the outsourcing providers, they'll naturally default to their familiar internal processes, their methodologies.
Which might be perfectly valid for them.
Right, in their own context.
Yeah.
But maybe completely misaligned with your firm's specific standards or local regulatory requirements or what your client actually expects. Meanwhile, your internal teams, they're expecting entirely different approaches, maybe specific design criteria, a certain level of detail for construction documents, adherence to unique local codes.
Right, so you get this immediate misalignment, and it's not just a minor inconvenience, is it?
No. It leads directly to what we see all the time. Rapid scope creep.
Yeah, the project boundaries just blur.
Undefined tasks pile up. And suddenly, you're not just exceeding the initial budget, you're looking at significant financial overruns. Big ones.
And it's not just the money, it's the trust, the momentum.
Exactly. It drains resources, erodes trust, kills project momentum. What should be a seamless, precise execution turns into this frustrating cycle.
Yeah.
Endless clarifications, change orders, redos.
Constant back and forth.
Yeah, fragmented information flow, time zone gaps making things worse, incomplete handoffs. It triggers massive rework cycles. Lost productivity.
That simple clarification that takes minutes in the office.
Stretches into a full day's delay, easily, waiting for a response across continents. And those inefficiencies, they stack up fast, they extend timelines, increase management overhead, inflate budgets.
Making that initial cheap hourly rate look suddenly very, very expensive.
Precisely. It's a fundamental breakdown in the partnership before it's even really gotten off the ground.
Wow. Okay, so if that wasn't enough to deal with, there's also what we've called the portfolio paradox.
Ah, yes, the glossy brochures.
Right. So you're doing your due diligence, evaluating potential civil engineering outsourcing partners. And what do they show you? These polished portfolios. Impressive infrastructure projects, complex urban developments, innovative designs, stunning renderings. They look fantastic.
They always do. That's the point.
But here's the paradox. These portfolios, they're primarily marketing tools. Designed to showcase visual results, not necessarily to serve as a true technical audit of their core engineering capabilities.
Exactly. What did they actually do on that project?
That's the critical missing information. Did the provider handle the core engineering? The complex load-bearing truss designed for that bridge? The intricate hydraulic modeling for the stormwater system? The detailed geotech analysis for the foundation?
The compliance checks against specific state and federal regs, the critical technical decision-making.
Or did they merely contribute drafting support, maybe rendering work for client presentations, peripheral project admin?
Big difference.
Huge difference. You see this beautiful, iconic bridge in the portfolio, but you don't know if their team engineered its structural integrity and managed the whole permitting process, or if they just drew the pretty facade for a marketing brochure.
Both have value, of course, but only one addresses your core engineering challenges.
Exactly. So what does this all mean for you, the listener? It means a deeper, much more rigorous investigation is absolutely required. You have to go way beyond the glossy images to confirm true technical capability. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting. How do successful forward-thinking firms actually overcome this portfolio paradox? How do they ensure genuine technical capability in their civil engineering outsourcing partners?
Yeah, this is key.
We're talking about companies that are really setting the gold standard. They understand that a pretty picture just isn't enough. You need profound substance. You need verifiable expertise. AXA Engineers, for instance, really exemplifies a strategic approach that moves way beyond the superficial.
Precisely. To confirm a provider's technical prowess, especially in a field as complex as civil engineering outsourcing, you absolutely need a rigorous, evidence-based process. You can't just take their word for it. And AXA Engineers, as you mentioned, consistently exemplifies several key practices that really reveal a provider's true depth and their commitment to engineering excellence.
Okay, so what's first?
First, and critically, is the documentation of their internal processes.
Right. Not just saying they have processes, but proving it.
Exactly. This isn't just bureaucratic paperwork we're talking about. It's irrefutable proof of a structured, disciplined approach to quality control and project execution. We mean comprehensive quality management systems, QMS, that aren't just sitting on a shelf, but are actively followed. Clear, multi-stage design review procedures, robust change management protocols so every design iteration is tracked and approved, and explicit compliance frameworks with all the relevant industry standards, ASCE, ASTO, local municipal codes, you name it.
So if a provider can actually show you these documented processes transparently and demonstrate they actually stick to them,
it offers incredibly valuable insight into their operational discipline, their commitment to engineering accuracy, and, crucially, their ability to integrate seamlessly with your own internal quality benchmarks.
so it's about verifying how they ensure their work meets your demanding standards.
Yes, exactly. It's the how.
That level of transparency sounds invaluable.
It really is. And going hand in hand with that is a verifiable, profound commitment to technology.
Okay, so not just saying they use the latest software.
Right, but providing demonstrable proof. Proof of fully licensed software like Civil 3D across all of their operational offices, not just one or two.
Why is that so important, beyond the obvious legal compliance?
Well, it signals far more than just legal compliance, although that's critical itself, obviously. It demonstrates a deep strategic commitment to quality, to staying at the forefront of the industry, and, crucially, to absolute compatibility with your own firm's workflows.
Ah, compatibility, the nightmare scenario.
Exactly. You absolutely do not want to find out midway through a critical project that your partner is using outdated software. Or worse, unlicensed software.
What happens then?
Oh, catastrophic integration nightmares. Corrupted file formats. Non-transferable custom objects that just derail your BIM models. Calculation errors undermining structural integrity. Significant audit risks that could jeopardize your entire firm's liability.
Oh, serious stuff.
Very serious. And what's compelling about AXA Engineers here is their explicit and verifiable commitment. They don't just say they maintain fully licensed Civil 3D across all offices they do, and they actively invest in keeping it updated.
So that ensures consistency, seamless integration.
Precisely. Consistent standards, seamless, friction-free integration with client workflows and civil engineering outsourcing. It's not just a claim. It's a verifiable, ongoing operational standard. It eliminates a huge common source of project delays and technical headaches right off the bat.
That immediately addresses a massive pain point for so many firms, those dreaded software compatibility issues. Okay, but what about their actual track record? We talked about how portfolios can be misleading. How do you cut through the gloss?
That's where a truly transparent track record comes into play. You need more than just project names and pretty pictures.
You need the
You
details.
need detailed case studies, ones that meticulously outline the specific engineering challenges they tackled, the precise methodologies they applied to solve them, and quantifiable, measurable outcomes.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so did they reduce a project's permitting timeline by, say, 20%? Did their design innovations lead to maybe 15% cost savings during construction?
Hmm.
Did they successfully navigate particularly complex regulatory hurdles like wetlands mitigation or historical preservation requirements?
Concrete, verifiable evidence.
Exactly. Moves beyond vague claims. And what's truly impressive about AXA engineers in this regard is their extensive proven 15-year track record right here in the demanding U.S. market.
15 years. That's substantial.
It really is. This isn't a brief stint or just peripheral involvement on a few projects. It provides a transparent view of sustained, direct involvement in hundreds of complex civil engineering outsourcing projects. That means they've built profound experience with U.S. design standards, codes, client expectations, the works. 15 years in this highly competitive and regulated market. It speaks volumes about their consistency, their adaptability, their deep understanding of market nuances, and their successful project delivery.
Yeah, that longevity is a powerful indicator of reliability and expertise, isn't it?
Absolutely. It's just they know what they're doing, and clients keep coming back.
And that kind of sustained presence often suggests independent validation too, right? Beyond just what they say about themselves.
It absolutely does, and that's another critical piece of the puzzle. Recognition from respected industry authorities.
Like who?
Well, when a leading third party, especially one that sets industry benchmarks, acknowledges a provider, it adds immense objective credibility. It's not just marketing fluff. AXA Engineers, for instance, has received significant acknowledgement from Autodesk, the global leader in design and make software.
Right, everyone uses Autodesk products.
Exactly. Including prominent recognition at events like Autodesk Converge 2023. This isn't just a simple pat on the back. It's powerful, independent validation of their technical expertise, their mastery of advanced design tools, and the rigor of their processes, specifically in civil engineering outsourcing.
So it signals they're performing at a high level.
It signals they're not just meeting expectations, but often exceeding them in the eyes of a major influential industry player. Such endorsements are a testament to their continuous commitment to excellence and innovation in the practical application of civil engineering technologies.
Okay, so we've got robust processes, check. Cutting edge, licensed technology, check. An impressive long-term track record, check. Independent validation, check. But what about the people themselves? Technology is only as good as the engineers actually wielding it, especially in a field like ours that demands so much nuanced judgment.
You're absolutely right. That's a crucial point. Strong quality management and truly exceptional project delivery fundamentally depend on a continuous investment in human capital, in staff development.
And this is where a truly strategic partner really stands out.
Absolutely. This is where they shine brightest in civil engineering outsourcing. AXA Engineers makes this a routine, ingrained practice. They regularly send their engineers to the U.S. for immersive, on-site training and direct collaboration with client teams.
Wow, they actually send them over.
They do. And think about that. It isn't just a nice perk for their employees. It's a strategic, significant investment. It ensures their team gains deep fluency in the latest U.S.-specific technologies, local codes, design standards, even those subtle, nuanced client preferences that are so important in civil engineering projects.
That direct impact must be huge.
It's profound. You get engineers who understand your local permitting requirements, your specific design aesthetic, the complexities of your project environment before they even start the detailed work.
That must dramatically reduce misunderstandings, speed things up.
It does. And this commitment is systematically supported by a structured framework for personnel development, including tailored standard operating procedures, SOPs, for each project, type, or even specific clients.
So they're not generic SOPs.
No. They might include specific checklists for seismic design in California, for example, or precise protocols for hydraulic calculations in Florida, ensuring consistency and accuracy across all deliverables, tailored to the need.
So connecting this to the bigger picture.
AXA Engineers isn't just doing the work. They're demonstrating a systemic, unwavering commitment to excellence, to continuous learning, and to strategic evolution. That's paramount in the dynamic, constantly changing field of civil engineering outsourcing. And one more thing here, they systematically use client feedback. It's a central pillar for them to refine their processes, drive continuous improvement. It shows an impressive agility and adaptability to evolving project demands and new industry challenges.
That holistic approach seems key.
It provides a robust, unshakable foundation for any long-term partnership. It moves way beyond the superficial checks.
So what does this all mean for you and your firm listening? It means that a clearly defined internal scope for your project, combined with a rigorous, evidence-based evaluation of a civil engineering outsourcing partner's technical capability. Well, that forms the foundational bedrock of a truly successful outsourcing relationship.
Solid ground.
This strategic approach, the kind powerfully exemplified by firms like AXA Engineers, directly addresses and proactively mitigates the root causes of scope creep, budget overruns, and misaligned expectations before they even get a chance to undermine your critical project outcomes.
It really does.
It's about building that partnership on solid, verifiable ground right from the very start, setting your firm up for predictable success.
Okay, so once you've got those foundational elements locked in that crystal clear scope, the thoroughly confirmed technical capability, the focus then shifts, doesn't it? It moves to the crucial ongoing operational dynamics.
Exactly. Day-to-day realities.
This is really where communication, a keen focus on long-term value creation, and proactive risk management truly determine the strength, the resilience, the longevity of any civil engineering outsourcing partnership.
Absolutely critical.
And we often see a common, yet immensely costly pitfall at this stage, don't we?
Yes. The tendency for firms to focus almost exclusively on immediate deliverables and those hourly rates again. Right. That narrow transactional view, it unfortunately reduces the provider to nothing more than a commoditized vendor, just a supplier.
And when you treat a partnership as purely transactional,
You inevitably overlook the critical structural elements that are vital for sustained success. Things like deeply integrated communication systems that foster real-time collaboration.
or a genuine commitment to long-term strategic value, aligning incentives.
Yeah, and robust, proactive risk management frameworks, specifically tailored for complex civil engineering outsourcing projects.
And what's truly fascinating here is how quickly those apparent savings from the low hourly rates just evaporate
Poof, gone again.
when hidden costs inevitably emerge, particularly from chronic communication breakdowns. When these essential structural elements are ignored or underestimated, the relationship just becomes a series of isolated exchanges.
Instead of evolving into that cohesive, strategic alliance that actually drives mutual success.
Exactly. The absence of a robust, well-defined partnership ecosystem often leads to persistent project delays, pervasive quality issues, significant operational inefficiencies that just compound over time.
Think about it. Communication breakdowns, fragmented information flow,
Massive time zone gaps creating frustrating delays.
incomplete handoffs where crucial details get missed.
All of these trigger massive rework cycles, devastating lost productivity. That simple clarification we talked about
Takes minutes in the office.
easily stretches into a full day's delay, or even longer, waiting for responses across continents. These seemingly minor inefficiencies accumulate rapidly.
Extending timelines, ballooning management overhead, drastically inflating budgets.
And providers who aren't truly invested in your long-term success, they tend to react to problems only after significant disruptions occur. They're not anticipating risks or proactively proposing improvements.
Right, they're reactive, not proactive.
True. Enduring value emerges when the provider demonstrates a systemic, structural commitment to integration, to shared outcomes, and to continuous improvement.
Okay, but what if there was a way to truly integrate your civil engineering outsourcing partner? To turn them into a seamless extension of your own team, rather than just an external vendor. Imagine a world where your outsourced team is just as responsive, just as aligned as your in-house experts.
That's the ideal scenario.
Well, AXA Engineers has meticulously developed an operational ecosystem designed to do precisely that. It fundamentally transforms civil engineering outsourcing from that potential source of headaches and hidden costs into a powerful source of innovation and strategic advantage.
Indeed. AXA Engineers deeply understands that operational excellence in civil engineering outsourcing is about embedding seamless communication, proactive value creation, and rigorous risk management into the very fabric of their service delivery. It's systemic.
So how do they do it? Let's start with communication.
Okay, seamless, real-time communication. This is absolutely non-negotiable in truly effective global collaborations, especially with dynamic civil engineering projects where things change fast. AXA Engineers addresses this head-on with their unique dual-team working model.
Dual team, how does that work?
They operate across two distinct shifts that are meticulously aligned with U.S. time zones.
Ah, okay. So they covered the U.S. working day.
And more. This isn't just a minor operational detail. It enables genuine real-time communication. It creates a follow-the-sun workflow.
Which eliminates those frustrating delays.
Exactly. It effectively eliminates those time-consuming delays common in traditional global collaborations, and it dramatically accelerates overall progress.
Give me an example.
Okay. A critical design change requested at the end of your U.S. workday. It can be immediately picked up by an AXA team, worked on essentially overnight from your perspective, and delivered back to you by the start of your next business day.
Wow, that's fast turnaround.
It is. Immediate responses to evolving requirements mean misunderstandings are minimized. Crucial design iterations are accelerated, and the risk of costly rework due to miscommunication is significantly lowered.
So it's about being available when you need them, not just when their local clock allows?
Precisely. It fosters truly agile project execution for civil engineering outsourcing.
That direct, immediate access sounds like it would profoundly transform how projects flow. Almost like having a 247 design team, in a way.
In effect, yes.
But what about long-term value? How do they ensure they're not just a short-term fix, but a genuine contributor to your firm's sustained growth?
That's another crucial element, long-term value creation. It depends crucially on aligning the provider's incentives directly with your client's success.
How do you achieve that alignment?
Well, AXA Engineers doesn't just focus on the immediate project tasks or the hourly rates. Their perspective is keenly focused on your broader business objectives.
Meaning
They strategically view the outsourced civil engineering team not merely as a cost center, but as a dynamic strategic asset, one that actively supports your firm's growth, its operational resilience, its capacity to take on larger, more complex projects. They're genuinely invested in your success.
that's a different mindset.
It's a partnership mindset. And this profound commitment to long-term partnership is powerfully reinforced by their exceptionally high workforce stability.
Stability. How high are we talking?
A remarkable 97% employee satisfaction rate, certified by Great Place to Work 2025.
97%. That's incredible.
It is. And it's not just a statistic. Think about what it means for you. It ensures unparalleled continuity, invaluable knowledge retention across multiple project cycles.
So you're not constantly dealing with new faces, retraining new teams.
Exactly. Instead, you're building deep, enduring relationships with the same experienced, highly satisfied professionals, people who become intimately familiar with your specific standards, your preferences, your project histories.
Which leads directly to
Refined processes, consistent service quality, and a profound understanding of your firm's evolving needs. That's real long-term value.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. And finally, proactive risk mitigation. How do they handle that, especially with sensitive, high-stakes civil engineering projects? Things involving proprietary designs or critical infrastructure data.
Right. Proactive risk mitigation further strengthens this strategic partnership ecosystem. Beyond the robust internal processes we already discussed, remember how AXA Engineers routinely sends their engineers to U.S. offices?
Yeah, for on-site collaboration training.
Exactly. For crucial on-site collaboration, intensive training, and direct knowledge transfer. This direct face-to-face engagement, it deepens their understanding of specific client standards. It accelerates problem-solving because you can clarify things immediately. And it builds an incredibly strong foundation of trust that transcends mere geographical distance.
So that immediate feedback, that face-to-face knowledge sharing, it allows for seamless integration.
Absolutely. Seamless integration of best practices between your internal teams and theirs, leading to faster design approvals, more constructible solutions.
Things you might miss over email or calls.
Exactly. This in-person interaction can be critical for understanding those subtle project nuances that are just difficult to convey remotely. Maybe a specific site condition, a client's unspoken design preference, a unique regulatory interpretation.
Got it. And data security.
Crucial. This is combined with incredibly strict data security protocols, safeguarding all project information from proprietary designs to sensitive permit applications. These comprehensive practices significantly reduce operational vulnerabilities. They rigorously protect all sensitive project information throughout the entire engagement.
So it's a multi-layered approach to risk.
It is, meaning you can confidently share critical project details, knowing they are handled with the utmost care, confidentiality, and security.
So wrapping this section up, what does this all mean for the listener?
It means the difference between simply hiring a transactional vendor and truly partnering with a strategic asset in civil engineering outsourcing. It really lies in this profound level of investment.
The systemic commitment.
Yes, to seamless, real-time communication, to tangible, long-term value creation, and to robust, proactive risk management.
When these elements are deeply embedded into the operational ecosystem of a partner like AXA Engineers,
Civil engineering outsourcing isn't just an option anymore. It evolves into a true source of innovation, operational resilience, and a powerful competitive advantage. Hashtag outro.
ultimately selecting an outsourcing provider, particularly in a field as critical and complex as civil engineering. Well, it's not simply a procurement function, is it?
Not at all.
It is, without exaggeration, a critical strategic decision, one that can profoundly shape your firm's capacity for accelerated growth, its ability to innovate, and its long-term operational resilience in what's an increasingly competitive market.
Absolutely fundamental.
And partnering with a company such as AXA Engineers clearly reflects and embodies this strategic mindset.
True it does.
It signifies a fundamental shift in how you evaluate potential collaborations, moving away from that narrow, singular focus on just the lowest hourly cost.
Which we know is often misleading.
Right. And instead embracing a comprehensive framework, one that rigorously assesses not just technical skills, but those critical elements we've discussed. Scope clarity, demonstrable capability, seamless communication, long-term value creation, and proactive risk mitigation.
A whole package.
This holistic approach is precisely what transforms civil engineering outsourcing from a potential liability, or just a mere cost-saving tactic, into a significant, undeniable, and truly sustainable competitive advantage for your firm.
And I'd add, working with a partner like AXA Engineers means collaborating with a team that goes far beyond mere task execution. It means partnering with professionals who are actively contributing to your long-term strategic objectives, helping you to not just meet, but to truly redefine and set a higher standard of performance in the civil engineering industry. It's about building a future together, not just completing a single project.
That's a powerful thought. So, if your firm is ready to move beyond hidden costs, frustrating uncertainty, and those basic transactional relationships, and instead you want to embrace civil engineering outsourcing as a genuine source of innovation, scalable capacity, and profound operational resilience, isn't it time to explore how a truly strategic partnership could redefine your next project and ultimately elevate your entire firm? We certainly hope this deep dive has provided you with some invaluable insights today. Remember to follow us for more profound discussions like this one, and we genuinely love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway?